Once I saw Kali muscle performing muscle-ups at 113 kg, I was a little embarrassed that even my muscle-ups looked less clean. Someone even joked in the comments that Kali uses fake weights. And indeed, by performing such a functional movement as muscle-ups, you demonstrated real strength. Because whatever you do, and whatever your weight or even your age, you are able to perform them. After watching this video to the end, you will have no excuses. Very often in various training videos about muscle-ups, they teach that you need to perform a specific number of pull-ups, and there is some truth in it, but the basis of learning muscle-ups is the technique, of course. If you watch Kali Muscle's video very carefully, you'll notice that when he performs muscle-ups, he doesn't just pull himself up, he forms a sort of an arc, along the trajectory of which he throws himself up. In fact, if I could give you just one piece of advice for learning muscle-ups, it would be learn to pull up yourself to the side instead of up. After all, that's how you'll be able to throw yourself over the bar. Let's look at another example. The very first muscle-up of a powerlifter heavyweight named Mitchell Hooper.
Yeah! Yes!
Chest up! Chest up! Chest up!
Of course, this muscle-up was more like a kip, but in one way or another the idea was gotten right. Instead of pulling up, Hooper leaned to the side as much as possible, which allowed him to overbalance himself in the upper face and throw his huge body over the bar. I will also remind you how Vitaly Fishuk taught the muscle-ups to the author of Sport Faza channel Alexei Mokshin, who had been doing bodybuilding for many years, had a good base but never practiced muscle-ups.
Now there will be sensational footage. Today Lesha Mokshin will become a training man and learn muscle-ups. How many pull-ups can you do?
4 through 12.
Well,
4.
if it's regular, do you pull up to the chest, yes, fully or halfway?
Not just back.
Just
That
the
is,
back halfway, I see.
Not by the
Well,
chin.
then I think you can do it 18 times regularly. Show how you do it. I will show you the points right away. Maybe you already have
climb
that
up,
technique.
Lisa.
Come on. A little bit is needed, at least for the first time.
As you can see, Alexei made this mistake, pulling himself up instead of pulling to the side. And this is what prevented him from completing the movement and throwing himself up. Of course, Vitaly explained to Alexei how to perform the movement and that for the first time it would be good to bend his arms a little to simplify the movement. But anyway, on the first day Alexei failed to reach the muscle up. However, on the second day Alexei made his first muscle up. First with the help of rubber bands, and then without it. Let's have a look at how it was, and pay attention again to the trajectory of his arms. Basically, all I'm saying is that with a sufficient strength base, you can learn muscle-ups within a day using just one tip. And here is more proof. A lifter named Travel Hush, who had never done a muscle-ups before in his life, mastered this move in just one day. And this proves to us the fact that sometimes it is not the base that holding you back, but simply understanding the technique of performing this move. Let's visualize now the first muscle-up attempt from Trevor and the immediately following successful attempt on the same day. Basically, what changed? On the first attempt, Trevor just hung on a bar, but on the second he added inertia. Also, on the first attempt he pulled himself up, while on the successful attempt he added the pendulum technique. That's it. If you want to master muscle-ups, handstand push-ups, human flags and other elements of calisthenics and do it according to the proven systems that has already been completed by more than 5,000 people, go to the memeworkout.com website and join waitlist to have a free access to our new app beta test. Links will be in the description. And now let's get back to the video. Okay, from the first part of this video it became clear that trained people can learn muscle-ups within one day. But what about untrained people? How many pull-ups do they need to do to start mastering the technique of muscle-ups? Trying to find an answer to this question, I came across the channel of a skinny guy who couldn't even do 5 pull-ups. And of course, his journey started with regular pull-ups, reaching the mark of 12 reps. He started adding weight and performing 1 rep, each with 14 kg backpack. After reaching the 18 kg mark for 5 reps, he started to learn the technique and finally made his first muscle-up. Then I found found another man of 55 years old, who documented his way of learning the muscle-ups. It turned out that he needed a base of 14 pull-ups to master the muscle-ups. You can see the technique yourself. I don't think it's worth mentioning the fact that it is not the cleanest muscle-ups. Also, Anthony, the hero of this video, pulled up with a 16 kg kettlebell for 5 reps. And all this was enough to finally start learning the muscle-ups. Anthony recorded his attempt every day for a few weeks. But you have to admit that age plays a huge role one way or another. And after a few weeks, Anthony has mastered his first muscle-up. Plus, he added in the video description that he is 59 years old and in one of the best physical shapes of his life, able to do multiple muscle-ups in a row and still progressing. They are still not perfect, but the swing is much smaller than it was in this video. All these video fragments I searched for today's episode I showed you for a reason. After studying about 10 very similar stories, I made a following conclusion. The approximate base to start learning muscle-ups is about 15 pull-ups with the standard technique, and 5 pull-ups with the weight from 10 to 15 kg. Here a lot will depend on your own body weight. But why did I even bring up the topic of learning muscle-ups for the second time? YouTube has hundreds of different tutorials on this topic without my video. I thought it would be cool not only to draw your attention with this video to the key aspects of learning, removing all the unnecessary, but also to show that muscle-ups are possible at any age and any background. For example, this guy described this sensation while performing muscle-ups as flying over the bar, and showed it with such a marvelous graphic. In fact, it's true, performing muscle-ups, especially at a good level, really feels light on the bar, which is perhaps impossible to feel if you always train only pull-ups. And also a very important nuance. If you hypothetically close the car keys in the car and the second keys will be at home, the keys to which you also close together with the car keys, you can easily get into your house and got the keys. Just kidding. But seriously, muscle-ups will open up a whole new horizon of training possibilities with your body, and this girl named Summer confirms it. According to her, she has been training in the gym for a long time and performed a lot of pull-ups until she hits her physical ceiling, and it was boring and not interesting to progress further with 1 pull-up a month. That's why she decided to master the muscle-ups, and for a year she went from 0 rep to 10 quite confident muscle-ups. Here are 3 reasons to start learning muscle-ups from Summer. By setting yourself a goal of learning the muscle-ups and reaching a certain measurable number of reps, you get your meaning of training. It is often this meaning that makes us progress. Without it, training quickly turns into routine. The second reason is a rather effective multi-joint movement, which simultaneously allows you to work on pulling and pushing muscle groups in one approach. And the third reason for Summer was to prove to everyone that girls can also perform muscle-ups and not only do pull-ups in the gym in the boring pull-up machines. By the way, if you are interested in the girl's base at the time of doing 10 muscle-ups, it was 18 clean pull-ups, 48 push-ups from the floor and 22 push-ups on the bars. Frankly speaking, such strength is not something incredible. You can learn all you need just by watching this video, even without experience and training coach.